because I'm spending a lot of time, you know, getting in contact with people that I find interesting, people that are really, really great songwriters and, you know, producers and artists. And I spend a lot of time with them. I invite them to my house and we have dinner or lunch, and I sell it to them. I tell them why you should do this, because a lot of artists, a lot of people are afraid of competing in music. And so I tell them why they should do it, why it's so good for them, and why it's not dangerous, because people don't want to lose, they want to win. But they're going to win anyway, because this is such a big platform. They're going to be seen and heard by so many people, and it's a celebration, so they should be a part of it. And people that don't win, they also have big success if they participate. And people forget who, you know, goes out first. What they remember is the great music and the performance. And so I spend a lot of time doing that, and of course there's an open submission. And some broadcasters only do that, but you won't get good enough material just by inviting people to send in the songs. So you really have to go after the, you know, the best artists that's out there. And we're also doing MTV camps, hand-picking artists, songwriters, and producers, and you know, having them work together for several days at a camp, you know, just having fun together and writing songs, writing a lot of songs in just a few days. So yeah, that was a long answer, but that's how we do it.
Take your time. Thank you very much. Mr. Kokotos, I have a question for you. So, as I mentioned, there are lots of great entries that was accompanied by your company, and we've seen the stages, amazing stages. So it feels like, not depending on the country that you work for, your entries we are really ambitious about that. Now I'm interested about, does it depend on the request from a country, or you have a standard that you can't go below?
Well, to be honest, most of the entries we produced and worked for, we chose the artist, and even if the country came to us, or the broadcaster came to us and asked to work for them, we would do that only if we knew that we would have an artist that has something to say. It's not only about the result, but it's, you know, the result comes at the end. We never start a project saying we want to be in the top 5 or we want to be in the top 3. That's the wrong approach. We started creating something unique. Because for me, in order to do well in any kind of business, not only in a song contest, you have to be unique, you have to stand out. Even if you do a restaurant, or you do a hotel, or you do a shop, you have to be different. That's the secret of success. So for us, we always start in trying to find something that would be creative, something that we would like, and something that would differentiate us from everyone else. So, and then when we find that, usually it could be the artist. For example, when, let's say the example of Lazarev.
Yeah.
The Russian broadcaster came to us, they said we have Sergei Lazarev, we want him to go to Eurovision, he's a very big star for Russia, will you work with him? When we had, like when Dimitris composed You Are the Only One, and we felt that the song was right, and then we came up with the staging, then we proceed with that. Annie Lorак was the same, like she came to us and said we want to go to Eurovision, we want to do this. So, you know, it always, usually it starts from the artist. The artist is the most important tool in this. And then comes the song, and then comes the staging. But believe me, that the praise is the last thing that comes. It comes as a result. If you're happy with what you have done, if you think that what you have done is different and unique, then the praise is the one that comes at the end.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kontopoulos, Mr. Dimitris Kontopoulos, I have a question for you. As I mentioned, the fact that you have written for Eurovision many times, maybe if I've counted correctly, at least 10 times.
I don't know, really. I don't know.
Then probably more than
It's a
that.
virus, it's something, you know.
And at least, well, I would say half of the time they were really successful entries, successful places. I'm interested not on the formula of the success, but when you have written the song down, do you already know that it's going to be a top entry? Do you feel that, or it's a complete surprise for you? It's like a lottery for you at the end. Can you make a projection even before?
Usually, I don't know, Tony. Also, when we write something and we get the chills by our own selves, it's a bit egoistic what I'm saying now, but we understand that we have something that probably other people will like, but we're never sure when we write something if it will get the exposure we have in our minds and if it will be successful. And to be honest, I never write a song thinking about Eurovision. I just write songs. Sometimes the songs are right. We discuss it with our team, of course, and we say maybe this song could work. This maybe not. This maybe could be, not say the ranking, we don't say top 5 or win the Eurovision, but it can have a good reaction from the fans, from the people that love Eurovision, you know. And potentially, when I write a song, it's also a combination with the artist. The singer is very important for Eurovision, so it has to be a very good mixture with the track and the artist. I think this is the most important, to love the song with the singer.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cornelissen,
Yes.
Mr. Kontopoulos has touched a really interesting issue, that the song, the lyrics should have a bond with the artist. So I'm interested in the secret, the success formula. So should you first write a song and find an artist, or you find an artist and write a song, write it with him?
I think it's important that, thank you for being here. Thank you, Lisa, for inviting me first. Congratulations with the first edition.
Thank you.
For me, it depends on the situation. In 2013, I was writing for Cascada, and then they invited me to write for Eurovision. So I wrote a Eurovision song for Cascada. Just with the thought that it has to suit her and the Eurovision, because Eurovision is a different kind of event. It's a different kind of stage. It's a stage on, there's a lot of freedom in music. So, but still, people expect it to be a staging thing, you know, a big song. So in that way, I think staging, I think artists, and I think a good song. That's the chemistry between these three things. Also, of course, the music production is also important, very important. But still, I'm thinking song with a lot of USPs in it. Song with USPs, everybody remember, this kind of stuff. But also the artist has to connect with the artist. The artist has to be capable of singing it. And then the staging must be great. For instance, like Matahari. Matahari is an Indonesian word. My mother's from Indonesia, and Matahari means the sun. So it was reflected on the stage. So it's really important that all these elements are correct. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
İsa, maraqlı bir məqama toxunmaq istəyirəm. Dünən tədbirdə də bu məsələyə toxundular. Songwriting-lə danışırıqsa, dünən Stig Karlsen'dan da bu haqda danışdınız. Songwriting kampların keçirilməsi, mahnı yazarlığı üzrə. Belə tədbirlərin keçirilməsi bəlkə də buna bir təkan verəcək. Bu platformadan istifadə edərək istəyərdim ki, sənin də fikirlərini alaq bu mövzuda. Bu songwriting kamplarının keçirilməsi Azərbaycanda mahnı yazarlarının sayının artırılmasına necə gəlib çıxara biləcək? Xarici təcrübədən istifadə etməliyi, yoxsa başqa bir fikir var bu barədə?
Çok sualınıza göre ilk önce ben spikerlerimizi salamlamak istedim ve teşekkürümü bildirmek istedim. Thank you guys for coming, for accepting invitation and supporting our event of our music industry platform. I think on the next year will be much bigger and much bigger. Thank you very much. Regarding your question, ben düşünürüm ki ümumiyyətlə bizim musiki sənayemizə getirecek pozitif ilerleyiş bu mahnı düşərgələri, Songwriter Camp deyilən bir tədbirlər çox təəccüblü önemlidir və nə qədər çox olsa bizdə xarici ölkələrdən gələn bu Songwriting Camp'a xarici mahnı yazarları, xarici bəstəkarlar, şairlər və ümumiyyətlə musiki industriyasında çalışan insanlar, mən tək ben biraz global bunu görürəm, tək mahnı yazmaqda yox, hətta bir music academy konseptdə olsun bu bir şey, hətta stage directorlar gəlsin, səhnə rejissorları gəlsin, işıq mütəxəssisləri gəlsin, səs rejissorları gəlsin və ümumiyyətlə bütün bu industriyada çalışan insanlar ki, işləyir. Çünki tək mahnı yazmaqdan əlbəttə ki, çox şey dəyişəcək, amma hər şey dəyişilməyəcək. Çünki bu industriyada çalışan insanlar kifayət qədər çoxdur və burada proseslər elə cərəyan edir ki, bütün bu proseslər zəncirvari bir reaksiya kimi hər şey bir-birindən asılıdır. Ona görə əgər biz bu mahnı düşərgələri düşünürüksə, bu çox gözəl fikirdir, amma biz daha böyük düşünməliyik, daha qlobal və əgər biz bu təşəbbüsü görürüksə, mən onun tərəfdarıyam ki, nəinki mahnı düşərgələri, ümumiyyətlə bu industriyada, bu sənayədə olan mütəxəssisləri cəlb edək ki, bizim rejissorlarımız, işıqçılarımız, ümumiyyətlə bu sahədə işləyən mütəxəssislərimiz daha da öz bacarıqlarını təkmilləşdirsinlər.
Teşekkür ederim İsa. That was a warm-up for the panel discussions. We have two panel discussions, as I mentioned. Actually, it's showing the topic of the second panel discussion, so maybe it's a fate. If you want, we can start with the second topic of the day, or if we can switch it to the first one, we can continue with that one. Does it make any difference?
It's like a spoiler, you know now.
Yeah. So let's start with this one then. What do you think?
Okay, we can start.
Yeah, let's start with it.
Switch to another one.
So our topic is recent trends on Eurovision Song Contest and what is the secret of a top 5 entry. Let's just start. The first thing that comes to my head. There are entries. I remember that artists got famous in a country that doesn't even participate in Eurovision Song Contest. So that's a phenomenon for me that's interesting. Do you think that it has something to do with the countries, the genres that's popular in the countries, or it's a planned strategy to do so? Anyone who wants to answer to that question?
So you mean if you have an already established artist in a country is popular there?
No, I'm an artist. I had an entry on the contest that maybe got in the top 10, maybe didn't got in the top 10 even. But the song got famous in another country that not even a part of the Eurovision that you're also on top of.
The last years, I think. Sorry that I'm taking.
Yeah, no, please.
Feel free to interrupt with you. We have a chill
I think
discussion.
we've seen this example in the last years many times with songs that didn't go well in the, let's say, top 10, and they became huge hits in other countries. So you never know. It's music. Resonates to all people, but people receive music differently in the world. So maybe a song that I will write will not resonate, let's say, to Spain, but it will resonate to Germany, to Azerbaijan, so it's interesting how to get global, how you call it, global
thoughts.
Yes. So
I think it's more from which perspective you see something. Like that's always a discussion we have with the broadcasters. So I always say when we start discussing with the broadcaster about Eurovision, I always tell you are not a record company. So for you, as a broadcaster, I don't know, like if you will agree with me, it's not important if the song will make streams or if the song will become a hit in Norway, or I'm saying Norway because you are the part of the broadcaster, or in your country. For you, it's important if, as a broadcaster, if you will have ratings. Well, that's one very important thing, and also the place. Like if you will have a good place. Now, if you go to a record company, you would say yes. For example, let's say there's the song of Armenia 2 years ago. They placed 21st place, but they made a global hit with 800 million streams. So the record company, I assume they're much happier than even winning Eurovision, only by the money earned by streams and And
So it depends on your initial goal.
so yeah, it would be ideal to have both, to have a very good placing and have a very good team. But it doesn't mean, so it all starts, what's your goal? There are many songs that have placed in top 5 in Eurovision and no one ever heard them the next day. They disappeared.
Can I explain something?
Of course.
Maybe there are two different kind of hits. What is a hit to you? When I ask you what is a hit?
If you're talking on the modern era, we can hear the song everywhere. Like it's a very viral. You can hear it on TikTok, on radio, on advertising.
Radio, right? Radio airplay is a different medium. It's
Yeah.
a traditional medium. So let's say the Eurovision is the traditional media because it comes through TV. So last year, I think we had like 164 million households reached with Eurovision. And I think the average is 3 persons in the room. So it's a great reach. The difficulty and the challenge is to write a song on Eurovision that will work on radio and that will work on the event itself. So if you go to do a song like Matahari, I know not everybody will play it on radio. I know, but it will be big on TV and everybody likes it. But at the same time, the challenge stays that how can you make a writer hit that also works on radio? That's a challenge. The Eurovision Song Contest is its own event, got its own song. It's free, you can do everything. A chicken song, for example, whatever. They won't play it in the Netherlands on the radio, most probably. They won't play it. That's the challenge. So the difference, the music industry get involved later, like, hey, wait a minute, this is the biggest music promotion platform in the world through traditional media. So let's say the record companies are jumping on it. I want a song, I want a song, because my artist is big. And while there are a lot of new talents now, right now, online, new talents, young talents, they don't care about traditional media. They care about song contests, they care about TikTok. I think the focus has to be on that. So there's a difference. So you cannot really precisely, how you say that, frame the reason why things are not working in certain areas. For example, Matahari is in Greece, it's covered by another artist. It was on the radio, but it never been on the radio outside of Greece. So there's a difference between countries, and if you have one hit that appeals everyone, then you have a hit.
And you know, you have the Eurovision piece also, which is different. Sometimes you're in the arena, let's say in the rehearsals, and the crowd gets crazy with the song. And you see, the final it flops, doesn't do anything. So it's very controversial how people receive the music. Yeah, I agree with all the industry stuff, radio, TV. But Eurovision world, I think it's a bit different.
Okay, if you're talking about the trends, trends is something that is changing almost daily. The Eurovision Song Contest is taking place once a year, so imagine how many trends are changing. But if we're taking a long period of time, is it better to go with the trend, or sometimes there are entries that going opposite to the flow? Let's go, it's unofficially called the freak genre, that's going against all the rules, all the musical understanding of a person, but they are making resonance, and they are getting some scores, they are getting places. So what do you think about trends on Eurovision? Should an entry go within the trends, or it should apply to its own rules?
It's a hard question. Are you asking for this delegation or
Everyone who wants to answer.
You know, it's so maybe.
No, I think it's mixed. You can have both. You have to there's evolution. You have to follow things, technology. Let's say you have to follow it. You have to in medicine. You have to follow things. You have to evolve also in music. Trends, sometimes work to follow a trend. Sometimes if you think out of the box and do your own thing, I think it's better. For me, I don't know.
Let me ask Mr. Karlsen regarding that question. So we have seen Norway's success for the last years. Do you think you went with the trend, or?
You know, I think it's important to be unique, but I think if you can find a balance between being, you know, recognizable in a way, it's music that people get the first time they hear it, because most people will hear it for the first time when the artist is on stage at Eurovision. So I think there's a combination about standing out, being unique, being the artist who you are, and you know, having that thing that make you feel safe in a way, listening to it for the first time. So combination of those would be like the perfect Eurovision song. And you know, following trends or not, if we knew what will win, we would win every year. That would be great, amazing. But so it's about, you know, looking at what's happening now, but also looking at what is unique about the songwriters and the artists, and finding a combination of what songs to write.
Mr. Kokotos, I thought you have something to say about it.
No, I think that for Eurovision specifically, in order, if we're talking about top 5, because that's the whole issue, you have to think out of the box. So for me, you should not follow the trends, because trends is something that everybody will, but follow, what you will do should be something out of the box. Maybe the song will follow the trends, but then the staging wouldn't, or the artist would be something different. Let's say, for example, Norway, when you sent this group that they were wearing masks, the song was very current, but they were very different. You will remember them. So the thing is how you will remember something after 26 songs. Or let's say you remember Israel when they won with, what was the song, Toy. For me, maybe it's a personal opinion, but the song was nothing special. Like if it was sung by any ordinary artist, maybe it wouldn't even qualify. But she was very unique. I mean, the way she acted on stage, her personality was so unique. So yes, she was different. So something has to be, maybe all of it or something, but one element needs to be something different and unique for people to remember, connect with it, and vote for it. Because it's a competition after all. So that's what I think. If you go totally by the trend of music, I don't think it's a success for you.
He's right, because you know, every year, you know, let's say last year Lorraine won, okay? I'm sure this year we will have 10 participations that will look alike Lorraine. It's that, you know, it's also this trend in Europe.
And also Eurovision managed to be, how many years? 16?
Yeah, from 1956.
So it changes. It's never the same. Something, you know, it doesn't follow the trends, but it changed. Like the period of 2000, it was like big divas, big stars, like, you know, from all countries, very like big artists. Then now it's more young generation, more younger people, fresh, newcomers.
But now it can create stars also, as we see the last 5 years, it can create again stars like it was before.
Young,
Now
40
trends
years.
changes every year.
like for Norway last year, you
5
had
years every
it was
year.
a song, no? The artist from Norway last year was a first song.
Yeah, this year actually. You're talking about Alessandra?
Yes.
Yeah. Global hit, you know, 200 million streams. Crazy. It was, 1 week it was 28 most streamed song in the world. And it was the most shared song for a whole week.
Who owns the master? Who owns the master?
And that's on my party playlist together with Matahari. I'm listening to Matahari all the time with my friends and all.
I brought the tracks here.
So let's dance.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, as unofficial as possible.
I would dance. Yeah. Not a dancer.
Thanks for a great job. This is true. The Matahari is really big hit in Greece, in Norway, and even in countries out of Eurovision countries.
It's bigger than the Cascara.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think thanks to great collaboration, I think collaboration is really important. To have collaborations outside of Azerbaijan, as long as the collaborator respects the country. In our case, we produced here together with the Rustam. I never saw a detector, I saw never these instruments an odd before. And they were really talented people, really talented musicians. So Isa asked, please combine traditional with new. So we had to find a modern element, we had to find traditional elements. So everything was packed, especially with Matahari after Cleopatra. It was really hard to write a Matahari. But we managed to do it because everybody was asking the fans, please write another, make another. So it was really hard, but we did our best. And I think it's full of USPs. If you talk about gimmicks in songs, if you listen to the song, there are a lot of USPs. First of all, the USP is like unique selling points, right? So first of all, we started with putting the Azerbaijani words in it. Yeah. I sang it. I did. So, and I pitched it down because it was horrible to do, but I managed to do it. And next was of course the percussions and the beautiful instruments recorded here in Azerbaijani. And second were, because we were really copying a bit, we had to write another Cleopatra, so we did like say, just like Cleopatra, just the reference. We're not lying, we did it. So we put in the Army of Lovers. Anyone knows? Does anybody know the Army of Lovers? Yeah, you? No? Yeah. That's a band from Sweden with a big hit, Crucify, and they are like cool people. If you listen to the track, you hear the Army of Lovers. It's the first note of the song. Crucify. It's also in the track, so there are little secrets in this track. And then I did the everybody knows the of course, right? So it's just so great to have the freedom to write this kind of stuff. And so again, collaboration with people is really important for Eurovision. That's what I want to say.
Okay, so since you say about Matahari, Fanny, for example, we have this annual award in Greece, which is like a very, very big thing. All the countries is watching. It's like, so let's say MTV Awards, and she was the only foreigner that was a guest, and she came to perform the track, because it was such a big hit. So that's also an opportunity for Azerbaijan to be promoted outside the country. She came there, everybody knows that she was the Azerbaijani entry. So promote Eurovision is a tool to promote the country abroad in different ways, not only about winning. So not only think about how you can win, you can promote the country in different ways. Yes. And this is a good example of that.
And Stig was talking about the camps, I think the songwriters camps.
Yeah. It was discussed at yesterday's panels as well.
Yeah,
that's a burning issue. I think that would create a big wave of songwriters. I think so. I don't know how it happened, for example, back in your countries. I think we haven't had any songwriter camps before, yes?
No.
Yeah.
Not. I don't remember.
Those of you who had back to your countries, how it affected in long term, for example? I don't know if there were any statistics on that, and more songs were produced on that year or not.
To be honest, but I'm not a musician at all, and I don't have any music talent. I'm not a fan of camps. I'm not a fan because
You're not a fan.
Not a fan. Because I have the perception, the musicians will tell them better than me, but I think that music should start at least from here. So it should be an inspiration to come at any moment. I can't see how people can be inspired if they stay in a room and say, okay, let's write a song. I don't, the first thing should come from the soul, not from the brain, at least for me. So I don't like the fact that people stay together and they say, okay, let's write a song now. How this song would look like. It's too commercial, in my opinion.
Sometimes it works, sorry.
Yeah, I just want to say something about that, because having people with passion, people that are really great at what they do, writing songs, and artists, and put them together to play and to bring on their emotions, I think that's a great idea. And I totally agree that sometimes music is just coming from one or two persons, working somewhere, or just, you know, someone coming up with an ID when they're on the bus or whatever. But putting talented people together to work out their emotions and their passion and using their craft to make songs, I think it's an amazing idea. And what I do with these camps is that I'm there actually to school them, to coach them, to let them understand the format. So I'm actually playing them a lot of songs, I'm showing them videos, and I'm inspiring them. So when they go into studio, they are, you know, really excited to write for this format. And I don't care where the music is coming from, but our biggest hits are coming from these camps. So I'm listening to a lot of songs, you know, that was coming through the open submission, and you know, and I don't care where they're coming from, but the best songs comes out of these camps, for the most part.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
the biggest hit, Alessandra's song, 200 million streams, was written at a song camp. I was in the studio when they wrote it, and I got to tell them the chorus sucks, so throw it out, write a new one. It worked, and the same with Give Them All for Banana, I was in the studio. And I'm not taking credit for the songs, I didn't write the songs, but I was there to orchestrate it. And so that's a great model, I think. But of course people have an idea that it's a factory and that there's no real emotions and passion there. It is a lot of it. I really think you should do more camps, and I'll be happy to bring people to Azerbaijan so we can do a collaboration. That would be amazing.
That's interesting to have some
So can I-
contradicting opinions on the topic. Yeah, of course, of course.
Camps are good because we bring many talents together, many people together.
Now we're 2-1.
Good, but my opinion is that if you listen, let's be honest. To be an artist, to be a songwriter, to be a painter, you have to have a big ego, and it's very difficult when you are with many people in the room to leave the ego outside. If you can manage to do this, it's great, but usually it doesn't work. So if you see in the history of music, all big songs were written by big egos. I don't want to say names now, but I think this is the honest truth. Camps are good because I'm telling you, you can bring, not camps only for songwriting, you can make a camp for a songwriter, for a lyricist, for a director, for a stage director, for a creative, you know, if you can bring all these people together and create something. This, for me, is more interesting.
But you also started, sorry, just to say this, that you many times, maybe, because maybe I said it in the wrong way, a camp could be interesting, but at least the first part of the song, or the first experience should be there. Like, for example, you have not a song, but you have a bass, and you work on the bass. Because otherwise, I don't like songs, I won't say the example now that I have, because I have an example in my mind that went very well in Eurovision, I wouldn't say, because there are many people recording. Which I understood that this song was written in a camp, that this verse comes from here is for TikTok, this chorus is for the juries, this part is, I hate it. It doesn't, for me, I like something to come from the show. Like, if I understand exactly what, it's like seeing a movie that you know the end. So,
Can I say something? Because you're all right. You're all right. But I do both.
Friendship bonds.
I do both. I work alone, I work with one person, my team, and I work in camps. It really depends. If we have camps here, I would work in camps. Definitely. I will tell my friends to come over and write with people, locals here. That's a different story than you have camps in Norway every day and in the Netherlands. I do camps for 20 years. 20 years. I spread my love. But at the same time, mainly the camps work for the lobby. You meet people, new people. Then after the camp, you make a shitty song and you make a better song with the same person. Another day, another time. So camps are making it possible to get together, the talents, to get to know each other. And sometimes it happens, sometimes Delegate comes out of a can. It not happens many times because, it means that you have to have a big ego in the room, and everybody wants to give something, put something in. The other one is not so good. The other one is great. The other one is okay. It's a great juice. There's a lot of hierarchy going on, and most of the time it doesn't really work. But there's a chance of making a hit, and there's a chance to meet people from a creative perspective and create your network, and which is good for the local talents here in Azerbaijan. I think if we go in that direction, we can see it.
Dear panelists, I'm sure if we had time we could discuss it till the morning, but I promised our guests that we will have a question and answer session. We have representatives of Eurovision pages that some of you are already familiar with. We have our representatives of Azerbaijan on Junior Eurovision here. Maybe we have people that will represent Azerbaijan in Eurovision in the future. We have some candidates, by the way. So I will use this opportunity to give you a chance to ask any question you want to a corresponding panelist. If anyone wants to ask a question, please raise your hand. We will invite you to the microphone and you can ask the question. So let's start the question and answer. Please.
Herkese ayrıca salamlayıram. İlk Azerbaycan ailesi adından. Bugün böyle bir tədbirin təşkil olunduğu için her birinize teşekkür edirəm. İştirak etdiyinizə görə də teşekkür
You will
edirəm.
translate to us because we don't have the sound.
It's not
No, it's starting.
Hər birinize salamlayıram. İlk Azerbaycan klubu adından. Bugün burada sizinle birlikte olmak hakikaten benim için çok hoştu. İllərdir uşaqlığından bəri dinlədiyim musiqilərin yaradıcılarıyla birlikte olmaq. Həmçinin tədbiri təşkil edildiyinizə görə də sizə təşəkkürümü bildirirəm. Əvvəlcə üzr istəyirəm sualımı belə bir sualım var, Stig Karlsen. Norveç illərdir Avroviziyanın ən sevilən iştirakçı ölkələrindən biridir və demək olar ki, hər il Avroviziya üçün bir çox hitlər təqdim edir. Sizcə Avroviziya təmsilçilərinin seçimində Grand Prix tipli daxili müsabiqələrin seçimi nə dərəcədə önəmlidir?
How important it is. I don't know if I got the last part of the question.
How important the music Grand Prix, the selection of the music Grand Prix to find successful entries like Norway did for the last years.
Yeah.
The role of music Grand Prix.
Yeah. It's Melody Grand Prix is important because it's a celebration of music for the Norwegian people. Of course, we could have picked one song for Eurovision, but then we would have this amazing party going on for several weeks. And we can also bring on more songs that, if they don't win, they have the chance of being hits anyway. And so for us, it's important to have like a big music celebration in Norway, having a platform for songwriters, producers, and artists to be seen. And to make the best party ever, music party in Norway. And of course we have the Norwegian public, and we have a jury who's going to decide what song to represent Norway. And I have faith in the people. The people tell you what they like, and if a lot of people like the same thing, there's a big chance that people also around Europe and around the world will like the same things. So I think it's a celebration, but it's also a good way of getting the best songs out there.